Miss Elizabeth, steroids, and missed chances at the top. Lex Luger's career had it all. He was on top of the wrestling world, had the body, the looks, and the talent, but it wasn't enough. From championship wins to personal struggles, here's the real story behind this wrestling persona. Lex Luger, born Lawrence Wendell Fole on June 2, 1958, is quite the legend in the wrestling world. Before he was throwing opponents around in the ring, he was building muscles as a bodybuilder and even tried his hand at football. He's best known for his time with big wrestling outfits like the World Championship Wrestling and what we now know as WWE. Lex had a pretty impressive run in WCW, where he snagged the World Heavyweight Championship not once, but twice. He even picked up the WWA World Heavyweight Championship along the way. Over at WCW and its earlier version, the NWA, he was the United States Heavyweight Champion 5 times, holding on to that title longer than anyone else at the time. He also nailed the WCW Triple Crown Champion title, making him a standout in the sport. While Lex never clinched a championship in the WWE, he was always in the thick of it, battling for every major title. He was so close to winning the WWF World Heavyweight Championship at big events like SummerSlam in 1993 and WrestleMania X in 1994. Plus, he was one half of the Royal Rumble co-winners in 1994, alongside Bret Hart. Fans were so into Lex that in 1993 they voted him the most popular wrestler of the year. But this legend was never free from controversies. Right from the get-go, his image was scarred. Don't believe us? Well, see for yourself, but before we dissect his crimes and escalating controversies, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. And number 1 is the infamous domestic violence case of Luger's then-girlfriend. Back in April 2003, a serious situation unfolded. At wrestler Lex Luger's home, he and his girlfriend, Miss Elizabeth, got into a big fight, which led someone to call the police to their townhouse. When the officers arrived, they found Elizabeth with some pretty bad injuries, bruises on her face, a cut lip, and a bump on her head. Seeing this, they arrested Luger and charged him with misdemeanor battery. This arrest really shook up the public. Domestic violence is a big deal, and seeing someone as famous as Luger involved in it caused a lot of anger and disappointment among his fans and the general public. His reputation, which wasn't great to begin with, took another serious hit. Luger managed to post bond and get out of jail, but he still had to face the consequences of his actions. This incident was just one part of a bunch of legal problems he was dealing with at the time, showing that things were really not going well for him personally. People often said that Luger's lack of charisma and not being great on the mic were big reasons he didn't make it to the top. Even though he looked the part and could handle himself in the ring, he didn't really connect with the audience on a deeper level, which is super important if you're going to be a leading star in wrestling. He faced off against big names like Ric Flair and even joined the notorious wrestling group, the Four Horsemen. Wrestling under the National Wrestling Alliance, Luger was known for his finishing move, the human torture rack, an excruciating backbreaker that helped him clinch many matches. Despite his rough and tumble persona in the ring, Luger's career was a series of highs and almosts. In early 1995, Lex Luger rocked the Royal Rumble. He was on fire, tossing out big names like Mabel and Bob Backlund, and got pretty close to the final victory. But, as luck would have it, Shawn Michaels had other plans and shoved Luger out of the ring when he least expected it. Not long after that, Luger paired up with Davey Boy Smith to form the Allied Powers. They kicked things off with a bang at WrestleMania's in Mean, grabbing a win that set the stage for more. They seemed unstoppable on Raw, paving their way to a shot at the WWF Tag Team Championship. Sadly, they couldn't clinch the title, and soon after, Luger dipped out of WWF. By late August '95, Luger was itching for a change and ended up reconnecting with his old pal Sting. This chat led to a surprising offer from WCW's Eric Bischoff, who wasn't exactly Luger's biggest fan. Bischoff lowballed him, thinking Luger would reject it, but Luger took the deal, shocking everyone by showing up on WCW's Nitro out of the blue. Once back at WCW, Luger kept everyone guessing. He hinted at going after Hulk Hogan's title, but stayed pretty mysterious, aligning himself with neither heroes nor villains for a while. But at Halloween Havoc, he made a bold move by attacking Hogan after his match, joining the notorious Dungeon of Doom gang. During the mid-90s, Luger found himself in the thick of major clashes. He got into a mix of championship tussles and tag team glories, often finding his loyalty tested due to his Dungeon of Doom ties. His wrestling saga reached new heights as he and Sting snagged the World Tag Team Championship. The saga with the New World Order was another major chapter for Luger. He stood firm against the invasion led by former WWF stars Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Despite a kayfabe injury during a key battle, Luger remained a pivotal fighter in WCW's stand against the NWO, even grabbing and losing the World Tag Team Championship along the way. Luger's story wasn't just about wrestling. He ventured into complex alliances, like joining the NWO Wolfpack and convincing Sting to come along. Despite his alliances, he kept clinching titles, like his 5th United States Heavyweight Championship in 1998, though his triumphs were often short-lived. After WCW, Luger popped up here and there in the wrestling world, joining tours and helping Sting win a championship in 1999. Later on, he contributed behind the scenes to WWE's wellness policy, advising younger wrestlers and helping them steer clear of the pitfalls that troubled past generations. Now coming to his personal battles, in October 2007, wrestler Lex Luger hit a rough patch when a neck injury left him temporarily paralyzed. There were whispers he might recover with antibiotics, but no official word came through. A month later, things looked pretty bleak, as he was still unable to move his arms or legs. However, by mid-2008, Luger began showing signs of improvement. He could stand by himself for a bit and even walk with a walker. By 2010, he told interviewers he was walking comfortably and had started driving again. Over the years, his ability to move around fluctuated. By 2014, he was using a wheelchair most of the time, though he could still manage a few steps on his own. But by 2021, he needed his wheelchair full-time to get around. Luger's life took a spiritual turn in September 2006, when he appeared on the TV show Praise the Lord. There, in a deeply personal chat with Sting, his old wrestling buddy, he opened up about his challenging times, especially after Miss Elizabeth's death. He revealed how becoming a born-again Christian, thanks to Pastor Steve Baskin, really helped him pull through his darkest days. Lex Luger's story really is something out of a movie, isn't it? From gridiron glory attempts to dominating the wrestling ring, his journey was packed with action, drama, and a dash of controversy. Whether it was clinching titles in WCW or stirring up the wrestling world, with his moves to WWF, Lex knew how to keep the spotlight shining bright. Lex Luger's life reminds us of the roller coaster ride that fame can be. It's filled with soaring highs and sobering lows, but through it all, Lex's resilience shines through, giving us a story that's not only about a wrestling legend, but also about personal redemption. What do you think about Lex Luger's journey? Drop a comment below to share your thoughts. And if you're digging these deep dives into wrestling legends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. Who knows? Your favorite wrestler might just be next on our list.